Okay, Adam, when they approached you about coming to Vegas
Yes.
to do a sports show, your reaction was?
Thrilled. This is the epicenter. This is where everybody needs to be. And I think what's interesting is that in New York, we're seeing such a boom right now. Everybody likes to talk about how Jersey's flying up. That's incredible.
That's good.
He wasn't there, so.
But everyone's talking about how New Jersey's rising up, and it's been really cool to kind of see that area embrace sports betting. I have been someone that's been about this for years. And so for me to be in the middle of the Caesars Sportsbook and to be encouraged. And so it's not just, hey, Adam loves betting on NFL games. People are now asking me, who am I taking for my season futures? It's a beautiful side of the coin to be on now.
You can't sneak it away on the side anymore.
No.
And go, oh, by the way, I bet sports, or I
No.
like it, or I'm attracted.
What's funny?
It's open now.
What's funny for me is it used to be I'd go through a guy and we go through a bookie and we do that, and now I have people reaching out. They want to be my proxy. You know, it's officially a thing now, and I like it because that's when you really get to dive in. And you get to really study the analytics and treat it with respect instead of in the shadows as some character flaw.
Okay, NFL. What are you
Yes.
thinking this year overall? General thoughts
Yep.
on the NFL from a sports betting angle,
Okay.
and the Raiders specifically.
Sure.
What do you think?
I'll start with the Raiders. I really want to know what can I see?
Oh, what their current number?
Do you know what their number is?
Change at any moment with Antonio Brown, depending on where he's at.
Okay, so
They're a long shot.
I'm down on the Raiders this year. I do believe that Derek Carr and John Gruden's offense will get better. I just think with so much change, we see this all the time in the NFL, it takes 2 years, and they went through an off season of change, and then another one. Antonio Brown, Trent Brown, the 3 rookies on defense, Hard Knocks, this Antonio Brown saga. It just has all the makings of a team that's going to start off slow. NFL-wise, all over the Eagles right now. I love the Eagles to win the NFC East. I love them to be the team representing the NFC. I think they're still at a pretty good value right now. I like the Colts hitting their over. I love the Panthers hitting their over, and the Ravens. Those are the teams that, from the people that I've talked to in Vegas, that I'm going to be betting those futures later today. Those are the ones that I have my eyes on.
How do you think the NFL will do in Vegas?
I think what's really interesting about stadiums right now is they're having to think about the consumer getting you away from your house. And so we saw this in San Francisco with fantasy football, where it's like at all the seats and you can track all your teams. If this Vegas stadium can be the perfect gambling epicenter, where you're able to watch the game and then in those big time suites have a window as well, I think it could be an incredible experience that is not just about watching the game, but about gambling on the NFL at whole. And so I get very excited about that. You know this. When that hockey team came in here and that first year went the Golden Knights to the Stanley Cup, it solidified you guys as a sports town. And so I think that this city is going to embrace the Raiders with that same zeal. And I'd ask you this as well, but it feels like it's a city that's been waiting for this for decades.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Well, a lot of questions were answered. It was always could Vegas support a major league sports franchise?
Yes, and you guys proved that with flying colors.
Right out of the gate.
I just hope that you guys are ready for John Gruden's face on every building. He's going to be on every billboard, every casino, just the snarl in the face. Yeah.
Chucky.
So as long as you can handle Chucky,
we'll see
you're good.
Chucky everywhere.
You'll be good. Yeah.
Okay, Bleacher Report being able to,
Yes.
to come here again to you mentioned how excited you were about Vegas, but
Yes.
The rise of Bleacher Report as
Sure.
a sports entity.
It's wild.
What were your
man.
thoughts on that?
I've been there. I've been at Bleacher Report for 5.5 years. And I was a local news reporter that said, I'm going to get rid of TV and I'm going to digital now. And to see it go from a place that did lists and, who's a better closer, blah, blah, to see where Bleacher Report has gone, it blows me away every day. And to have a studio like this where, to me, the Caesars Sportsbook is the prototypical sportsbook. The screens, the colors, and for this to be right here, I'm always amazed at how this company has grown, and I embrace it and I cherish it because it's been cool to be a part of it. I don't know what's next, and I think what's cool is that we're investing in things that people care about. And sports gambling is what people really care about. And what's funny is a lot of other traditional media entities are either afraid or they only want to dip their toe in. And they just want someone up there to say, pick a winner. And I think we have the opportunity to really dive deep and provide coverage that other people are afraid to give right now.
Well, we've gone full circle. I mean, it was Jimmy the Greek Snyder,
Oh my
Vegas
gosh.
base,
Yes.
of course, on CBS,
Yes.
that did the shows
Yes.
and would give odds and would give spreads. And now we're going back to that.
And he
point
made
where
the
it's-
comment at the dinner,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah,
shut
yes.
it down. And I felt like with him, gambling entertainment was shut down as well, because he was the guy. So now I think what's interesting is, and you know this being in this city, it's the delicate balance between not being a tout, but then also providing good information. There's been a rise the last few years of people going, gambling, I got the answers for you. And we're trying to give the reasoned, well thought out information and not just saying, I'm betting 70% winners, you know?
And not just say take Baltimore on,
Yes.
on natural grass.
No.
Why? Okay, and tell me why
Yes.
they play better there or worse
Hardest
there or
thing
whatever.
about being someone that talks about gambling in the media is everybody just wants you to give them the winner, and really we just want to give you information so that you can pick it yourself. Because if I tell you to take Baltimore, we know what happens if Philadelphia wins that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
What's the overall idea of your piece? Do you know?
It's going to be on Bleacher Report, and also we're going to run some of this stuff later in the week.
Gotcha.
NFL predictions and things.
Gotcha.
Well, Antonio
Yeah,
Brown.
please.
Let's talk about
Let's do it.
The Antonio Brown situation. You touched
Yes.
on a little bit there.
Sure.
But what do you think overall is going on here with this guy?
At first I thought that this was a beautiful marketing ploy of getting everyone off of the fact that he went into a cryogenic chamber without socks on and destroyed the bottom of his feet when he got $30 million guaranteed. Now, seeing Mike Mayock, seeing Gruden come out and pretty much give an ultimatum, I'm realizing now that this is a serious helmet issue. I expect Antonio Brown to play, just like I expect Zeke to get a contract. At the same point, this is a young Raiders core. They went 3 leaders. That's all we heard about. Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, Cleveland Farrell to change the culture. When Antonio Brown came in, he talked about adding to the culture. And all he has done thus far has been a distraction from the culture. Derek Carr can't play with his #1 wide receiver. Everyone's looking for him and he's not there. I think that I'm waiting to see Derek Carr stand up. Because what's going to happen is if it keeps being the GM, if it keeps being Mayock, if it keeps being John Gruden, they're going to alienate Antonio Brown, and we don't know how Antonio Brown's going to react. He's been in the same ecosystem for about a decade, and he's been able to get away with whatever he wants. And now he's in a new place with new rules. And I think it will work out, but I do not believe that this is the last blow up, and I don't think it's going to be the biggest blow up. I think something is going to be on the horizon that we're going to look at the Antonio Brown tenure and go, he had some sparks on the field, but it was dwarfed by his shenanigans off of it. Yeah.
Hard Knocks. I assume you've watched the first couple editions. What do you
I
think? of
love
so-
Hard Knocks. I do not like this season. I think for me, as a Hard Knocks purist and as someone that works in the media, you typically know what they have access to. We know that they have cameras in the coach's room. For me, the fact that the 2 biggest storylines have been his feet and his helmet, and the way that it's been described to us has been from NFL Network reports, which is in essence state TV. We have not seen an unfiltered wide receiver room of them talking. We have not seen Mike Mayock's reactions, John Gruden. This, again, we'll see what they have for us this week. I am not someone that cares that much about the rookie wide receiver coming home. I'm not interested in the third year linebacker learning how to change diapers for the first time. We have unparalleled access to the biggest sideshow in the NFL, and I don't think we're going deep enough, and I'm hoping that changes on this week's Hard Knocks. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.